Hi, everyone. Hey, so we are in the midst of the season of stewardship at the church. And, actually, that's kind of a strange way to refer to this season, the season of stewardship, because truly all seasons are seasons of stewardship. Essentially, stewardship means caring for those things that have been put into your hands, taking care of those things that have been put in your charge. And so the things that God has given us, being good stewards of those things, our gifts, our skills, our abilities, our money, our finances, those things have been gifted to us by God. And I know that we work hard for those things, but we're made able because of the goodness of God, that God has poured down this abundance on us. And so when we talk about being good stewards, we're talking about using the gifts and the things that God has given us wisely. So really what we are in right now is the season of our annual campaign where we focus on this idea of stewardship probably most intensely as we do any time in the year. And specifically, what we do during this time is we begin to place before you all as the congregation our vision. It's really not our vision, it's God's vision that we have discovered through times of study and conversation. And so it's a time where we look at this vision that has become ours, that we believe is gifted to us by God, and we now act on that vision. And we recognize that in order to live into that vision, it's going to take the work of the entire church. It's going to take us sharing our time, our talents, and our finances, our resources, in order to fund everything that we believe God is calling us to do. And this year is kind of an aggressive time for us because we are trying to expand our staff in a way that it hasn't been expanded in many years. We're trying to add an associate pastor. We are improving what we have in terms of our technologies by hopefully hiring a tech coordinator. We are expanding our staff in order to do the things that we believe God's calling us to do. And so some of you, I think, probably got in the mail a pledge card and a brochure and a letter and then this poster. And our hope is to try to communicate to you very effectively what it is that we're trying to do this year, what it is we believe we've been called to do. Now, here's the thing. I recognize that this is a really difficult time for a lot of people. I mean, employment is great. The employment is high, but a lot of us are looking at the price tags on things and everything is expensive. And we're at the same time watching things like our 401k and the investments we have. It's going the wrong direction right now. And so I recognize that as we're coming into this year, we're coming into it where the economy might not be working in our favor all the time. And so we're asking folks to really consider what God's calling them to do in the midst of a time where it's probably difficult to ask that. But here's the thing. I know God will be faithful to what it is God has put on our hearts and minds. And I really believe and I hope and pray that you all will consider what God's calling you to do this coming year. Now, some folks don't like to pledge. I mean, it's hard, I know, to pledge. It's hard to kind of imagine what it is that you think you're going to be able to do. And so there's a way for you to just say, you know what, I'm not going to pledge a certain amount of money, but I'm certainly going to give this year. And if that's where you are, that's fine. But if you're able to put that amount down, it helps us as we sit down and try to plan out our budget. And we know that there's challenges. But here's the thing. Our theme this year is this. We walk by faith, not by sight. That's from 2 Corinthians 5:7. We walk by faith, not by sight. In other words, we can look around us and we can say, wow, it's scary and it's difficult right now. So we got to walk by something other than what we see with our eyes. We got to walk by faith. And so I thank you all for the great support that you've been given this church. I thank you all for the way that you've supported the church through your prayers, through giving of your time, through allowing us to benefit from your talents. And as we move into 2023, I thank you for prayerfully considering what God's calling you to do today.